And thank you so much for the invitation to this forum. I'm very pleased to be with you today. I think I might be one of the newest members in IBNS. So I hope I'm not, because I've been with the IBNS for maybe 5 years or so. But I'm sure that there are some with us today that are, you measure your membership in decades, and I would especially like to thank you on this anniversary occasion, because it's a good job to keep a society like this going. Well, my name is Snäll, and I'm the marketing manager for Crane Currency. And I normally on a daily basis enjoy leading our customer outreach programs, central bank educational events and communications. And in this role, I had the privilege of addressing the IBNS in London in 2018. And I think I met a few of you there. I recognize some names and faces here. And that was in the run-up to what turned out to be the IBNS awarding the Central Bank of Aruba's new 100 florin banknote as Banknote of the Year, a banknote that was produced by Crane. But that's not what I'm going to talk about now. I thought I'd maybe just start a little bit about Crane Currency for those of you who may not know about our company. We've had some changes over the last 3 years. Crane Currency is a fully integrated producer of banknote features and papers and printed banknotes, as well as supplier of design services to many central banks. And we have our origins in Massachusetts in the USA, being incorporated in 1801, but active in producing paper used for banknotes since the late 1700s. And in 2002, Crane purchased the historic Tumba Bruk paper mill from the Swedish Central Bank, a facility that dates to 1755, and where I am based, actually. I'm sitting in the paper mill right now when I'm talking. This location is supported by our feature research office in the state of Georgia in the US, and our micro-optic features are produced just outside of Boston in Nashua, New Hampshire. And all of these facilities support our banknote printing factory located in Malta. And it's so small, but you know where it is. It's to some customers, I need to explain that it is still in Europe actually, but it's very small. Since 2018, Crane Currency has been part of Crane Co, a provider of products and solutions to customers in such diverse markets as chemical, oil and gas, aerospace and defense, power generation, and it's traded on the New York Stock Exchange. But of course, it's the currency portion of Big Crane that's of interest for us today. And that part of Crane plays a significant role in cash and currency globally. And Crane Currency's sister company, we have a sister company named Crane Payment Innovations. We say CPI. It may interest you to know that CPI is active in over 140 countries, and their point of sale and retail cash acceptance equipment authenticates over 150 million cash transactions every day. And working closely with CPI as well as with our customers gives us a little perspective on the increasing role that machines are playing in our interactions with cash today. And this increasingly holistic relationship to banknotes, from design to production to processing, allows Crane to support central banks in developing the next generation's banknotes and security features. And it is this Crane's larger corporate resource base that allows us to strengthen our commitment to ensure for our central bank customers banknotes that are highly secure, functional, and yes, beautiful to the public and to collectors. Okay, now on to today's topic, which you will appreciate offers my personal reflections on securing banknotes from counterfeiting. First, what is Bling? Well, according to Merriam-Webster's, Bling is flashy jewelry worn especially as an indication of wealth and status. The broader meaning can be expensive and ostentatious possessions. I had to look up actually the word ostentatious, but simply it's very showy stuff, and I think you will see what I mean. First known use of the word bling was in 1999, if I'm not mistaken, and has an etymology tied to imitation. Likely imitation in this case meant the sound the light would make reflecting of gold or diamonds if we could hear it. And my fellow associates and me spend a lot of time thinking about producing banknotes that cannot be imitated. So Bling's connection to imitation is interesting to us. Bling, you can say we can call it visual bragging. Certainly got its start long before the 1990s. For centuries, leaders have used bling in so many ways to communicate status and strength, including ships and soldiers, uniforms, crowns. Even Mother Nature has been known to adapt and use bling in many cases to help one's chances of good night out, maybe. Think about animals and mating rituals. Bling in modern times has been a consistent device to underscore wealth and status. In this regard, showy displays can blur the line between the real and fake. That idea of imitation comes up again, using bling to appear bigger, stronger, wealthier than is actually the case. Early advertisers were at the forefront of establishing a profitable use of bling, even if the term wouldn't be used until decades later. A chime sounding when a sparkle of light reflects from a tooth recently brushed established the idea of a sparkling shine having an audio element. And since then, bling has fueled a multi-billion-dollar industry around capturing our attention visually. The methods to do this are vast, and they range from the large to the small. The consumer packaging industry has engulfed us with bling, all in the pursuit of capturing our attention. And the basic recipe is one of plastic-based film, embossing that film or writing on it of some kind to create ridges to manipulate light, and then followed by an application of aluminum to make the effect easily visible. So whether in a huge factory in Asia or in a home desktop laminator, this combination is truly everywhere. An evolution of packaging, bling, as well as window treatments continues, extending beyond large industries and into the home office and residential use. Countless hot foils and inexpensive application methods are marketed to scrapbook enthusiasts, invitation makers, desktop publishers, etc. And the list is endless. But what about banknotes? Using a little bling to communicate financial strength is understandable. So let me introduce to you the Graham family. The Graham family is the largest and most well-known example of banknote bling. They are the Kardashians of the banknote world, you could say. Just consider some of its members, and these come now in not the order I'm saying them, but kilogram, plasmagram, Swissgram, moviegram, pixelgram, stereogram, alphagram, exelgram, vectogram, 3D-gram, and so on and so forth. Now, all of the family members of the Graham family have something in common. They share a common and dominant bling gene. And if you're into gene sequencing, you'll appreciate this gene by its symbol AL. And you may also recognize this as the metallic element. So the reason the Graham family uses aluminum is that without it, we wouldn't be able to see its visual effects very easily. And the ease of use is a major requirement of public security features. And this is why the Graham family are, for the most part, all bright and shiny in appearance. The Graham family's security is based on expensive equipment and skill and know-how, but the very essence of Graham family is its eye-catching obviousness. I mean, that's the whole point of banknote bling, right? The feature should say to the audience, look at me, just look at me. But in reality, it's really, notice me, not so strong. Bling is appreciated in quick glances and not with a long and adoring gaze. And here's the thing then. Easy to notice is not the same as easy to use. Cash usage has been analyzed so many times, and it has been shown that the amount of time we take to make a cash payment is only about 10 to 20 seconds. And of that time, we only devote 1 second to look at the cash. And of that 1 second, the majority of it is to check value of the banknote is correct, its denomination. We want to be sure we're giving or receiving the right amount. We use only a fraction of a second to authenticate the banknote. And truly, we verify our banknote in a glance, and cognitive science puts a glance as taking about 300 milliseconds, about 1/3 of a second. So while we, the public, does not really look so closely at the banknotes, there is someone that does. The counterfeiter and the con man. The counterfeiter's job is to make good replications of banknotes, and the con man's job is to trick you. When they team up, the con man buys counterfeit banknotes that he or she feels look and feel convincing enough to pass. For sure, if the banknote has a feature from the Graham family, this feature simulation would be a key point of interest for the counterfeiter and con man. They know how we behave, and they know how Bling can play directly into deceiving us. Because we do not look at all, we just notice. There was something shiny there. You've probably visited the websites of banknote producers, and you often see extremely blingy photo spreads of features, especially those of the Graham family. The Grahams really like good lighting to look their best. But life doesn't always happen for a spotlight. The Graham family features are often beautifully designed, so don't misunderstand me there. If you do collect bling, that's fully understandable. They are beautiful. But I believe we are actually nearing the end of the blingy era. The distance between bling banknotes or blingy banknote features rather, and commercial products is narrowing. And this could start to become dangerous if the public only notices a feature rather than uses it. I actually have nails like this today. It's way too blingy for my Swedish sensibilities, but maybe you can see it has a color changing effect. It's quite similar to that used on banknotes. Not exactly, but pretty close. The moving design is set with a magnet that comes right inside the nail polish, the cap of the nail polish. Is there a reason for concern about that today, tomorrow? When modern banknotes increasingly need to be held in your hand, or at least tilted, in order to truly appreciate them. Rapid movement cannot be well depicted in 2D images, photographs. And in practice, they actually work very well for the public. And all the notes in the new Aruba series, which included the 100 florin that I mentioned earlier, has a 3D feature effect that is so strong that it can be very accurately verified as just a glance without even tilting the note. But even this technological wonder can't be appreciated as an image. So I wonder how we should be able to vote on the banknotes in the future if we can't hold them. And I think this challenge will become even greater unless our video screens enable true 3D viewing in the near future. The banknote displayed in 2 dimensions will like nothing like those in real life when you hold them in. So, who is the youngest on the call today? I wonder how you will be able to, how you will judge a banknote of the future. I would like to look into the future and see what a banknote like in 60 years from now. And I have a prediction, and one is that the Graham family will not be on these future notes to the similar extent as today. I think the glamour will fade as consumer bling will overwhelm the overt blinginess. But they had a good one. So these were banknotes 60 years ago. Not much bling there. Today, here are some banknotes with not so much bling, but they are from today. And 60 years into the future, who knows for sure? But I can offer an educated guess. So here goes. This one is a showcase of the possibilities with Crane's ocean micro-optics technology. I think cash will still be cash, maybe not used so much, but still private, safe, electricity free. A well thought through use of theme and integration of security features that connect to the theme. Just as I believe Alan mentioned earlier this morning, talked about the assigning the notes for Delarue. It's very important, and it will still be important, and even more so later on when cash is used less. Everything on a banknote will have to make sense and be secure. Understanding and verification at a glance will really be key. And on this example, you will still see portraits in intaglio print in 2081. And the designer group here has worked with exploring the motion micro-optics technology using the entire space of the banknote, not just a stripe or a patch or so. And here I may maybe be missing a watermark, or perhaps the paper will feel differently. But I've gained a treasure chest of really fast-moving and clear high contrast elements that quickly tell me a story and tell it securely. And it's way ahead of any commercial materials available today. Will the future include bling on banknotes? What do you think? And will it be secure? Well, we have to wait and see. But this is actually my last slide for today, and just wanted to conclude with that I hope that more of our partner central banks will continue to have their banknotes recognized by the IBNS. And we certainly congratulate each winner and each nominee. It's a very nice recognition and very well done, and congratulations to the society. That concludes my presentation for your attention.